we got a couple of things to look at here, once again relating to the proms and the BBC's attempts at first axing our patriotic anthems completely, before backtracking and opting for censoring the lyrics instead, following public outrage which didn't help for obvious reasons. Well, it seems even our weak and feeble Prime Minister has actually come out in defence of these songs that inspire national pride. Yes guys, he actually found his meat and two veg, allowing him to show some level of authority which has been lacking, while attacks on this country, its history and culture go unchecked almost every day. So let's take a quick look at what he actually had to say during a TV interview yesterday.
But I just want to say that, and they're trying to restrain me from saying this, but if it is correct, which I cannot believe that it really is, but if it is correct that the BBC is saying that they will not sing the words of Land of Hope and Glory and Rule Britannia as they traditionally do at the end of last night of the proms, I think it's time we stopped our cringing embarrassment about our history, about our traditions and about our culture, and we stop this general bout of self-recrimination and wetness. I wanted to get that off my chest.
Now, adding to that, the Prime Minister's words have been backed up by the unarguable fact that Land of Hope and Glory has topped the download charts. In fact, it's number 1 and 2, showing the BBC they are so far out of touch with the people of this country they might as well be called Liberal Democrats. And in fact, from what I've seen on the internet, it would appear they are completely out of touch with most of the people in the world who actually like these songs. It's only woke liberal losers like those at the BBC who sit there and think that these songs are in any way offensive to anyone, because of course everything's offensive to them. But obviously on Twitter the usual suspects were out hating on Britain and race baiting as you would expect. First we had David I Hate White People Lammy showing us god tier levels of self-awareness with this tweet that you can see here, when he claimed Boris Johnson was trying to start a culture war by defending our culture and history in the clip I showed you a moment ago. I would say it's incredible, but that's no more than we expect from David Lammy, but was also topped off by the executive producer of the BBC show Songs of Praise, who said she would launch a national competition to find new lyrics for Rule Britannia and Land of Hope and Glory, and how it would unify the country. To which I responded with what you can see on the screen now, because I'm sick of these simple-minded fools hating on this country because it's the woke thing to do, despite, like I said, the British people being dead set against it, as we see by Land of Hope and Glory hitting number 1, which the Express have picked up on here, poking fun at the BBC's humiliation with the title. Land of Hope and Glory reaches number 1 in the charts after BBC Proms row. It is a totemic victory. The BBC has been mocked after Land of Hope and Glory reached the top of the iTunes chart following a backlash over the broadcaster's decision to perform the patriotic songs without lyrics at the last night of the proms, which I've covered over the last couple of days. Dame Vera Lim's version of the traditional anthem is currently number 1 and number 2 in the chart. It comes after a campaign on Twitter by outspoken actor Lawrence Fox in response to the BBC's announcement Land of Hope and Glory and Rule Britannia would not be sung at the last night of the proms. The actor urged followers to help propel the British songs to number 1, saying would the BBC then have to play it? What a beautiful day that would be. And I admit it is a good day that it's happening, but I still don't think it will force the BBC to play it. We all know wokeness is their number 1 priority now. When it reached the top spot, he tweeted, "Absolutely amazing, number 1, what a brilliant day, the people have spoken," at BBC. Former Brexit Party MEP Martin Daubeny added, getting Land of Hope and Glory to number 1 and 2 might seem like a small victory, but it isn't. It's a totemic and symbolic backlash, which of course it is. And I didn't even see this, I would have retweeted it and got more people to actually go out and buy it if they wanted to and could afford it, so we can get it to number 1 and shove it in the BBC's face. While most people might not think that defending Land of Hope and Glory and Rule Britannia is that important considering all that's going on in this day and age, when it actually is, because if we allow it to go down this route, this goes now, then what will be next? It'll be more important things destroying the history of this country, and we cannot allow it. The wokes have finally woken, the silent majority, let's keep fighting. No, I wouldn't go that far, the silent majority is still very silent, most of them don't know and are too busy with their own lives. Eventually they will come, but I do not think that time is yet. And he also said hats off to Loza Fox for rallying the troops. Brexiteer Emily Hewitson wrote, How can the British Broadcasting Company be so out of touch with Britain? Where have you been, love, for the past few years? Common sense has prevailed. I love this country. The Defund the BBC Twitter account posted, Dame Vera's Land of Hope and Glory is currently in positions 1 and 2 in the UK download chart. Keep it going so that it gets played by BBC Radio 1 on Sunday's chart countdown. Please make sure you buy the version below so we can concentrate on one version, which I fully support. Let's get it to number 1 and hopefully the BBC will actually be forced to play it on Sunday. Then you can watch woke Twitter go after them like a snivelling bunch of shitweasels and the BBC will no doubt cave like a bunch of cucks. The row over Land of Hope and Glory and Rule Britannia was sparked by reports that 2 songs could be dropped from the last night of the proms due to their perceived association with colonialism and slavery. Which is obviously what we covered the other day. We already know about that. It's a load of old bollocks. It's just the BBC being a woke bunch of tosspots. We also know that they pissed even more people off when they said they would perform them, but without the lyrics. Boris Johnson, as we heard, went against them also, finally growing a pair of bollocks, which is something he has sorely missed over the last few months. And as you heard him actually say earlier, and it says here, apparently someone was trying to stop it saying it, probably his PR team, who appear to be very worried about what the BBC and the rest of these media shitweasels actually think, when the majority of this country hate the media more than they hate politicians, and let me tell you, in this current day and age, that is saying something. Boris Johnson needs to stop being so fucking weak and start pulling his finger out of his arse and doing all the shit that he said he would do. Though obviously he's a politician, lying is like breathing to them. Now we know Business Secretary Alok Sharma went out against it yesterday. I see that. That's not really that big a fucking deal. We obviously know the Tories are going to go against it because otherwise they are no different to Labour when it comes to the majority of this country, rather than people like me who know political parties are always 2 cheeks of the same shit-covered arsehole. BBC Director General Lord Hall said he backed the decision to ditch the lyrics this year because he's a snivelling tosspot, just as bad as everyone else at the BBC, and as I covered yesterday, he thinks the BBC can be the voice of Britain while he's backing this bullshit, and obviously the BBC are removing our history. Well, it seems no matter what these woke losers at the BBC, or indeed David I Hate White People Lammy says, the British people have spoken. Land of Hope and Glory sits at number 1, a massive middle finger to the BBC, and rightly so. And like I said, though I haven't done it often recently for obvious reasons, props to Boris Johnson for actually coming out and defending Rule Britannia, Land of Hope and Glory, and what the people of this country actually want. Now start doing it with everything else, you snivelling shitweasel. You have an 80-seat majority. Start acting like it. Tell your missus to give you the trousers back, put on your big boy pants, and do something about it.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors. Slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires. And that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.